It is January 1946, and it's been almost a decade since the major powers of the world began jostling themselves for positions of power and strength amongst each other. The Comintern are no exception. Although they had a fairly slow start, they have been gaining momentum and gaining steam. But now, as the world becomes fatigued over this great war after nearly a decade of jostling for power, it seems to be the case that all powers, all alliances, are fairly well evenly matched. Does this mean that the war will go on indefinitely, or does it mean that, well, as people get tired out, one faction will gain a slight edge over their opponents, and then all nations will call an armistice for, well, who knows, a lifetime, a generation, a year? One is hard pressed to know the answer to that question. Welcome all to Operation Varsity. We are playing as the Comintern. I don't know if that was fairly maudlin of of an intro, but nonetheless, we're going to do the Comintern. I have to be somewhat quick and dirty. I'm actually out in camp, hence my bad microphone. I need to start packing around a small, portable, easy access microphone so that I could actually do some damage and do proper audio as opposed to tiny little microphone built into my laptop. It's unfortunate I don't have any better resources. So I made a big mistake last turn. I didn't catch that there was an extra ship of the Japanese here in the dockyard in port in Hong Kong, meaning that my attack into Hong Kong wouldn't have worked anyway. So since I didn't have correct information, we decided to erase that battle, take back some of the stuff here, give myself a recruitment role, and take away the major factory up here in Peking, and kind of proceed as if nothing really happened. And just to build up forces otherwise. So that's the correction there. So we don't have an extra victory point for the for the Comintern, and likely the thumbnail on this one might be they become a major power again. We'll have to see. All right, so 14 bucks of income. I'm gonna get 4 infantry and 1 militia. That should max out our resources there. Let's is there something else I need to do for these guys before I start? I don't think so. We're gonna make another attack attempt into Hong Kong. This time though, they have 4 infantry. They have 1 militia, and I don't see any transports. I didn't see any in the image there, too, for the Japanese. I don't know how they got these guys in here. Oh well, doesn't really matter. I know they had this transport arrived, so maybe the transport dropped off a couple troops, the militia got upgraded, and another militia got placed, and one over there. You know, I'm saying this as if it's a big mystery, but I could just watch the veterans turn. But you know what? We do a quick and tidy little way of unit summary videos, which is nice as the Soviets because then I don't have to watch everybody's videos. It saves me a lot of time, especially when I get a lot of games going on. But it does mean that there's going to be some mistakes occurring here and there. And I want to extend my thanks to the good old veteran as well as 5-star general for for putting out those unit summary videos for my benefit and for their benefit as well. And yeah, I really do appreciate it. Okay, let's get on with their turn. So we're going to make another attempt at attack here. So they have 4 infantry and 1 militia in the city, so that's a little bit better. I'm going to go with 4 infantry and 2 cavalry into the city, and these 3 fighters are entering there as well. So it's going to be a bit of a kerfuffle. So I think that is the only battle we're going to do this turn. So let's move on. So I haven't laid out the dice because, hey, I've been pretty busy. 2, 3, 4, and my 2 cavalry right here. And then I have 1, 2, 3 fighters. On the opponent's side, they have 1, 2, 3, 4 infantry, defending at 5, and 1 militia at 3. So it's going to be a tough fight. I think we'll take a lot of losses, but one hopes that we'll get some level of success. And let's roll these guys too while we're at it. Okay, so far we've got 1 success. Hey-oh! 2 successes, there we go. That's better than nothing. And on their side, they have 11, an 8, a 4, so 2 hits on their side as well. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Okay, so they have to take off. Let me double check here. Yeah, that's the militia there, and it would be succeeding at 3. So we're going to take off these 2 dice. And on our end, we are going to take off our 2 infantry dice. Going into round 2. Oh, goodness. I hope they didn't have any ships in port, but the great big old Japanese battle against the Americans might have been our saving grace here. So we have 2 hits. And only 2 hits, and on their end they have 2 hits as well. So we take off, this time around, let's take off our cavalry, and we'll take off 2 of their infantry as if I have a choice. I was just thinking if that was a wise choice or not, but statistically we should be able to get this one out. I'd be very depressed if we didn't. We got 1 hit, 2 hits, nice, and they got 1 hit. So we take off We capture it with 1 infantry, and that's that. So now, unless there's this hidden Japanese fleet in that port, which I really don't think there is, but hey, it didn't look to be in their video. I didn't hear it mentioned, but it looks like we managed to capture the city of Hong Kong, which means that we now become a major power. And let's go on to our non-combat movements. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. These 2 fighters have to land here. And you know what? I might just put all 3 fighters here just for a combined defense. We're going to move. We immediately become a major power. Immediately a major power. Okay, let me just check what these rules say here. We looked at this last turn as well. Evolution to major power. 1 factory. If chosen capital is a city land zone. Okay. So this was the age-old question as before. It's like, you know what? We have 2 capitals here, or we have 2 cities. Should we go Beiping or even Hong Kong? Now they both have merit. Hong Kong is a little bit tidier because we can push forces here and get future victory points. But the thing is, it's so easily surrounded by the enemy as well. So it's not ideal, and we don't want to lose all our money that quickly either. So what we're going to do is we are going to decide to put the capital once again in. For some reason my cloning feature doesn't seem to work on this. A little bit of an error. There we go. That guy's not there. Come on, major factory. I'm actually out in the middle of nowhere today. I'm at a camp in the oil field, so that's kind of the reason. I'm doing this just prior to work. Okay, so that's going there into beeping, and I'm going to send in some units in my non-combat move. So I'm going to send the CCP infantry from Kuichao south. I can now move militia as well. I don't think I will move that one though, but this guy here can move this direction to Hopei. No, you know what? He's going to move south to Kuichao. This mountain is going to move to Kuichao as well. Xingkang is going to move to Sichuan. And from Shenxi, we're going to send 2 over here to Hopei. From Hopei, 1 over here. In fact, we can actually rail 1 unit. So I'm going to rail this guy all the way to Peking as well. That way we don't lose our capital. And we're going to send this CCP infantry to down here as well. I think that would be a good course of action. And we did have this guy here hanging out in Shantung. But you know what? He'll just stay there. He'll just stay there. I think that's the best place for him. Because why not, right? Why not? Okay, so now we could place... Oh, you know what? We can't actually place any more units here. I hadn't thought of that. My thinking was to place all our new recruits here in this territory, but that doesn't work. That really doesn't work because we no longer get the decentralized military feature. So I'm going to ask for grace from my opponents and do a slight change to my purchase with the anticipation that I would have won that. Hopefully that's okay. Instead of those 2 infantry, I'm going to go for 3 more militia. And in that regards, I'm going to move this militia across here to Guangdong. And we didn't have anything here prior to that. Okay, great. Let me think on what else to do. Yeah, I don't think there's too much we can do. Those aircraft are at risk. There's no two ways about it. Alright, so with that in mind, let's put our... Actually, you know what? I don't think we can overfill this territory either now because of... it's only worth $2. So I think we can happily keep that guy there and build these 2 militia right here. But unfortunately, it means that we're still very much exposed to any potential counterattack, especially by these guys here, the KMT, which could wipe out our entire forces. It's a tough call, so in that light, I might just leave 1 fighter here in Yunnan. These 2 by necessity have to go here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, no 2 ways about it. They have to stay there. Yeah. This guy here at the very least can hang out here in Yunnan, perhaps. Alright. Hopefully the KMT don't take it upon themselves to give me any attacks. Alright, so that's not to be confused. I'm going to place 1 militia here. Because we maxed out that there. And place... 2 militia here, and these 2 remaining dudes have to go up here in the city of Peking. And that gives us 16 bucks this turn to spend on the subsequent turn. Alright, I believe that is it. We placed all our units, we moved everything that needs to be moved. I'm just worried about the KMT forces now, but at the end of the day, it doesn't do them any good to try to attack me because, hey, that's not going to get them any victory points. Perhaps defensively they're the best unit here, but of course they might decide they might be worthwhile going into Kwangtung. So at the very least, take off my fighters and such, right? So, anyways, I'm not trying to give hints to my opponents by any stretch. Let's move on to the Soviets. Hopefully you guys hear me good on the mic. It really sucks. So last turn I didn't move a factory. I thought prior... That's one of the dumb things about... Not dumb things. That's one of the difficult things about moving factories. Since moving a factory goes at the end of the stage, but you might change your mind. So I don't know if you retroactively get to roll for a tech that you did not roll for the factory move, if you get what I mean. So anyways, I'm going to roll 2 dice as if... I gotta roll 2 dice, and then if need be, we can get rid of them. So this is the first dice that would have been rolled last turn, since I didn't, after all, move that factory. That's a 1, so it's a miss anyways. And this is the one that that we're rolling now. That's a +1 because of improved logistics. And we got a 6, so we got 2, or perhaps 1, subsequent rolls on the next turn. Or a +2 on the subsequent turn, is what I'm trying to say. Heavy armor! Okay, let's roll the rest of these in a bunch because we still have 3 factories. And the color-coded radar should be... It should actually be written up here. Radar. So 5 for radar, that's a miss. 10 for heavy armor, and 11. So we know that the green, which... yep. The green right there, succeeded, and the red succeeded as well, but not radar. Radar gets 1 point for the subsequent turn if we're going to roll for that. And that's that. Perfect. I'm pretty well happy with that. Let's move on to other stuff in our purchases here. We have 62 bucks to spend. We're going to get fortification started, 2 coast artillery, 1 militia, 3 infantry, 2 more rather, 2 airborne, 1 CCB mountain infantry, 1 Soviet air, 2 Soviet air, 2 T-34. That is it. Let me quickly jump to the Republicans because I always tend to forget them. I have no idea if I even rolled for a recruitment roll for them. No attacks made because they aren't at war with anybody. So let's just roll a dice. Let's choose this. Normally I would have said yellow, but you can't really see the yellow that easily, so let's roll this one. 6 or less, we get a recruitment roll, and it's a 1. So we are going to place... Going to get 2 militia. One here, 1 there. Okay, that's it for those guys. Moving on. So that's 62 bucks for us here. Let's go on to our combat phase. There's going to be just a simple walk-on into German-occupied territory here in Poland. Just a 1 unit march. Another walk-on over up north. With this guy, we're going to attack with our seaplane and our sub. So we're going to do the one with the seaplane in it first here. Did I get rid of my dice 6s? Yes, I did. Oh, no, I didn't. So here's a seaplane roll. Red is the attacker. Miss on that one. And here's a submarine. I always use red as attacker. It just makes more sense to me. 6. And it looks like the black didn't make it. These dice 6 tend to stay up there. So 6 plus 2. We maxed out that one, so that's 3 damage. And the one from Norway. Let's see what those results are. How am I doing for time? I got 15 minutes. So we got 1 damage on the Norway line. We got 2 damage over 3 damage over here. Is that 3? 1, 2. That's 3. 3. Perfect. Okay. We're going to do 1 artillery run over here. Sorry, I should have listed out all our attrition attack here. 3 dice at 1. And what other attacks? I just wanted to get the seaplane stuff out of the way. Or the raiding out of the way. So 2 transports over here. And 3 transports over here. And this one. Now, the way they're going is going to be 1 through Primorsky Krai. Sea of Okhotsk over here. And there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They normally move 6. I have long range, and there's an air base here, so that gives us 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So by my math, we should be able to drop 3 airborne units onto the Kuril Islands. Now, what other attacks are we going to make? That's it. Okay, so down here, let's roll for these 3 attritional attacks. So they're going to be 3 at 1, fairly low odds, but because it's desert, it shouldn't matter too much. Against those French is what the plan is. And they have a militia to absorb the hit, so likely we won't score anything serious. And we didn't score anything anyways, so that's a miss. Okay, now we're going to go for our 3 airborne. Sorry, let's see if the fighters can hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They could if they landed here in Kamchatka, but we don't intend on doing that. I think the three dudes here should do sufficiently well enough. So we're looking at 3 at 2 for the first round because it's going into mountains, and 1 defense at 2 as well. So I think we could do this. It's a 50% chance of scoring a hit on the first round, and nothing, and nothing. All right. Now, because we have Elite Airborne Doctrine, we still roll at 2, and let's see what the results are. Miss, and miss, that's a 7 right there. We're looking at round 3. Hit, and a hit. So he scores 1 hit against my Elite. Here's the timer. My 3 aircraft land back here, or 3 transports land back here, or they will. And this guy is ours now. Okay, now for non-combat movements. So we're going to add... We're going to send these 3 fighters, because I see that my opponent might be angling to take out Helsinki. We're going to send them all the way up north here to Helsinki. They can reach the path they would take. The path they would take is, they're coming from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because my long range will allow them to reach this position. Because he's built some marines and such, and so it's likely that he's intending on attacking. The rest of this force is going to come across to Bessarabia to join my forces there. And we're going to leave 1 infantry. You know what? Militia can't go, sorry, my bad. We're going to leave these 3 infantry there. These units here, they are going to come mechanized. These are advanced mechs. They're going to come to this position here. They have the range. And so I will have to give a unit count later. This guy from Moscow to Kaluga Oblast. I have these 3 dudes right here. This guy. Okay, I'm going to actually rail this guy from Moscow all the way to Helsinki. I'm going to add from down south this guy right here, this anti-aircraft gun, coming up there as well. I'm going to move these guys from Transcaucasus into the mountains, into Western Anatolia. Good. This attack has failed. Nothing there. And I've used my 2 rail moves. I think we're just left with this side here. So what are we going to do here? Well, we got cavalry are going to move 2 spaces to, let's say, up in Peking. So it gets pretty crowded here, guys, but I'm really running low on time right now. So these 3 units come here. I'm going to send in 1 infantry from Primorsky Krai to Korea. The 3 transports are going to land here. Come on. Then I'm going to send this infantry is going to march 1 space. These 2 infantry are going to march 1 space to Angara. We're going to rail 1 unit from Korea. Yeah, from Korea. And he's going to go as far as Shantung. Yeah, he's going to go as far as Shantung. That's the plan. Okay, That'll about do it for me. So place unit phase. So I'm going to put the 2 coastal artillery out here in Helsinki. I'm going to begin my fortified line there. My militia is going to be placed in Helsinki as well. And for the rest of it, this mountain infantry is going to go at the end of the railway line here in Shanghai. I'm going to build these 2 tanks over in Orel Kursk. I'm going to be building 2 infantry and 2 airborne over on the far side of the world. 2 over here, and you know what? I'm going to build them in Rihi, I think. And then these 2 guys in Chita. The rest, sorry, I'm going to put an anti-aircraft gun here instead. The rest of these 4 infantry, I'm going to put 2 over here, 2 over in Orel Kursk, and 1 anti-aircraft gun is going to come into Transcaucasus as well. And that'll take care of it. Oh, sorry, I messed up. 2 of these are going to go to Leningrad, because that's another possible avenue of attack towards my forces. And in fact, actually, I think I'm going to put my anti-aircraft gun there as well. I believe that's what I'll do. Yes. So we're sufficiently defended from any potential attacks in the northern theater. Okay, that'll about do it for us. Income collected, I think we just won more than last time. I guess we should adjust the income tracker here. They dropped down to what I believe is 45, and I'm at 60. Plus I get $2 of income for... Come on. 1, 2, 3. Yep. So I'm at 60... 63. Oh, shoot. Okay, that's it for the Soviet turn. Sorry for the quick, dirty, and messy turn. Talk to y'all later. Cheers.